Hey, Journal Goddesses, it's your Elemental Wisdom Mentor, Dionne Ruff-Sloan, the Tea Priestess, for you, me, and a cup of tea. How you doing over there, bodies? How you doing? Check in with yourself here. Just notice how you're doing. And you might even want to check in on all the realms. How you doing physically, mentally? How you doing energetically? How you doing spiritually today? And if you notice anything swirling and twirling, nagging at you, or any kind of inner critic voice coming up saying that you should be doing something else, give yourself permission to pack up all of that and set it outside of our space and just give yourself a chance to be. So, look at the new wig of sass here. This is my new birthday do. My birthday was a couple days ago, as you may know. So, I've got the pastel blue wig of sass. Isn't it cute? I love it. I hope you like it too. So, today I wanted to talk to you about some misconceptions that I have been seeing as I've been roaming around the internets and looking at different journaling things just to get some ideas, get the old juices flowing to help you get the most out of your journal time. And there are several misconceptions that people have about consistent practice. And I thought, you know what? I had some of these misconceptions, so I'm going to share three of my personal biggest misconceptions so that way, and I'm going to bust them so that way you can get those out of your system as well. So, the first misconception that I had about consistent practice was it had to be an all or nothing. So, for example, with a daily practice, if I didn't do it every day and I missed one day, then boom, that was it. I would have to start all over again. And I put these arbitrary limits on myself. And one of the limits for me was that I was like checking off on a habit tracker how many times I was doing it. So when I would see a gap in my habit tracker for either one, that I didn't do my practice that I was tracking, or two, I had gotten so busy doing stuff that I didn't update my tracker, it just got too much. And it felt too much like I have to do this instead of I get to do this. Now, for me, the have to versus the get to is the difference in between taking, in between, keeping, in between feeling like I have to beat myself up to get something done. That's the have to for me. The get to for me is the joy of it. I get to do these things. For me, if I go into my body and feel, oh, I have to, as compared to, oh, I get to, the I get to feels much more uplifted. So I stopped using habit trackers for that specific reason, because it felt more, it made the things that I was wanting to do feel more like I have to instead of I get to. Okay, so that all or nothing is one common misconception. Another common misconception is that it has to be big in order to be beneficial. One of the things that I love doing in my journal is spending just 2 to 5 minutes in my journal. I set a timer and I just write. Sometimes I'll write with a question. Sometimes I'll write with elemental forces of creation oracle. Sometimes I'll just do straight up stream of consciousness. And while it seems like, oh, what a difference is 5 minutes going to make, when I come back to those shorter entries, those ones that I just scribbled things down as quickly as I possibly could in a 2 to 5 minute period, I actually have found some really profound insights that I didn't know were rumbling around in my head. So it doesn't have to be, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write for 30 minutes, or even the morning pages, which is very popular because of Julia Cameron. I tried that. It didn't work for me. It made it feel, that was another one of those things that made it feel like I have to instead of an I get to. But for me, consistently sitting down and writing at least for 2 to 5 minutes is way more beneficial than me saying, okay, well, I have to sit down and do this for 30 minutes. So having it be big to be beneficial is a misconception. The third misconception that I personally had and I see is that you have to do it in a certain time frame. Now, what do I mean by time frame? Well, nature teaches us about time frames. We have a daily rhythm, we have a weekly rhythm, we have monthly rhythms, and we have yearly rhythms. Now, to say that I'm gonna journal daily in order for it to be beneficial. Sometimes I do need to journal daily. Oftentimes, I personally need to journal daily. But looking from a wider perspective, there are certain things that you only do once a week, or once every 2 weeks, or once a month. So figuring out what is the best rhythm for you is definitely key to making sure that you stay consistent. If you commit to, I am going to journal for X amount of time once a day, or X amount of time once a week, then, or whatever rhythm feels best for you in this season of life. Now, there are some times in life where, things get in the way, and because you're growing and changing, because I'm growing and changing, my needs from a daily practice or a weekly practice or a monthly practice change as I change. So thinking that it has to be this way all the time and done in a certain time frame is another misconception that we can just throw out the window. I hope those 3 things have been helpful for you. And I'm curious, is there anything that you would like, that you had as a misconception that kept you from getting the benefits of having a consistent practice, a regular practice, whether it be for journaling, art journaling, and journaling in any of its incarnations, right? Whether it's writing or doing art or anything like that, or a physical practice or a mental practice. Meditation comes to mind when I say that, or a spiritual practice, checking in with your spiritual side. Did you have any misconceptions that have kept you from being consistent in a way that you would like to? And if so, what did you do about it? How have you overcome a misconception that you had in order to get the most benefit from that practice? I hope this has been super duper helpful for you. Please leave a comment in the box below and let me know how you're doing out there. I would love to hear how you have overcome some of your own personal misconceptions. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.